So yeah, so in TrackMania, this is the Ubisoft version. I know there's like 3 or 4 different variants of the same game, and essentially this is just a time trial game. And I have the free version. I don't want to admit that I do not have access to really anything on the game other than what they allow me to for having the free version, which is these 25 tracks for the entire season of fall. So let's hope we get some more tracks in early December, but I doubt it. Either way, we'll be going through these 25 tracks. It's going to be 1 track a day for roughly an hour to see how good we can get a score on these tracks. And I'm basing an hour on other streamers and people that I watch, mainly Northern Lion, because yeah, he did a series on this a while back, and his videos ended up being about 40 minutes to an hour. So I'm hoping to get about the same amount of runtime on that. And then afterwards, I'll probably stream some Rocket League for tonight, just to close out the evening. So with that said, I think we're going to get the background music back on again. Please, please, please let me know how things sound in balance from one thing to the next, because that sounded very loud to me. And yeah, the background music's supposed to be background music, so it shouldn't be overpowering anything. Maybe the sound of the game itself, but that's about it. So it is a Monday evening, just past 9:30, as the game's going to crash on me as I started. Is it? Hey, it caught up. Okay, it caught up. Good. Wait, I know this track. Do I? No, I don't. It just has the same start as the very first track of the last season. That's so confusing. Okay. So yes, if you are new to TrackMania, you haven't seen this version before, this is what it looks like, and this is really going through the whole smorgasbord. There are a few different track. Wow, that was only silver. Okay. So there are a few different grounds, I guess, textures they can drive on. Hold on. I'll get to that in a second. That does want to that. Yeah. Sounds all balanced. Cool. And in TrackMania, you have this concrete, I guess is what you would call this. You have grass, you have dirt, and you have ice. And ice is the worst of all 3 substances. Grass is the second worst because it really does slow you down, unless you're on like this football field pattern grass. That was a lot better. Still not gold though. And the whole challenge is to essentially drive as fast as you possibly can on the track that broke the tires. As fast as you can. And any mistake that you make costs you dearly. So can you cut corners? Yes you can. Which ones? Not all of them. So you really have to pick and choose what battles you want to win, what lane you want to go for. I'm not going to get any more speed out of this match, but it's good practice either way. I'm going to try going up this time. And so some meta rules. Typically, the straighter your car, the faster you go. There are times where you do want to drift, especially if you're on a dirt track, but again, pick and choose. You can cut small corners off of any... I overshot. Jeez, I messed that up. You can cut corners on any texture or any ground. You just can't stay in there. You typically want 2 tires on a corner and 2 tires on the actual substance you're supposed to be driving on most of the time. You don't want to run into those things. And yeah, you do lose a lot of traction on grass. So like in regards to traction, you get the most out of concrete, the second most out of dirt, the third would be grass, fourth would be ice, as you would more or less expect. That's a lot better. Still not gold because I missed it by 7/100 of a second there. I believe I said that right. Okay, so it does look like going left gets you a better starting speed, at the corner there and you see it gave me a red line and yada yada yada, so gotta start again. There's gonna be a lot of restarts, and you can restart from each of these checkpoints, but your time does carry on, so unless it's a long track that's like a minute long and you're really just trying to get something nailed down, you don't really need to restart from the checkpoint. Also, I grew up playing a cynical game called Stuntman, which I actually ended up beating after years of owning it. And if you're not... I hit the corner again. And if you're not sure what that game is, it is a game developed by Atari? Like late Atari, like this is early 2000s. So like this is after the crash and Atari already being bought by who knows how many other companies at that point. And that was a lot smoother than expected, there's a goal. But we're not done with this map just yet because there is an author medal. And the author medal is typically the time set by the author of the map. And it's usually, I don't know, like 3 seconds ahead of goal. So we got what would be considered the good score, the above average score. Now we have to get the true score, which is the author medal. Anyways, going back to Stuntman, the game was about being a stunt driver for modern cinema, for modern movies. I don't know how I'm going to get to 19 seconds on this track, because that's what it seems like I'm going to have to get, at the very least. And in the game Stuntman, like I said, you're driving on these stunt courses, and guess what? You only have one take, and you can only make 3 mistakes. And even worse than that, a lot of these stunts that you have to pull off were timed. So if you did make a mistake, it didn't cost you anything but some time. If it cost you too much time, the take was ruined anyways because it would fail a future objective. That's how cynical Stuntman was. And I beat it. But that's essentially the mindset that I have when I'm playing this game, where if I want to do this, if I want to beat the track, I'm going to learn it in its entirety, and with very, very rare exception would I ever restart from a checkpoint. Not that it's not helpful. I had too much momentum again. I gotta get out of that corner on a better exit. But it's not that it's not helpful to restart from a checkpoint, but for me, it's just how I am, how I learn. I tend to learn things the hard way. Yeah, especially when it comes to gaming. Turn, there we go. Nice little adjustment there. And I hit the little piece of shrub. Okay, shrub, you win. Shrub 1, car 0. Going on further, ranting about this game, because again, no dead air. That's why the background music's for. In this game, these cars don't like to turn. And so you do have to kind of force the car to turn and drift a little bit. And in more advanced tracks, more advancedness, you will have to slow down and like pedal your car through certain turns and whatnot, and find the best way to get on the gas and off the gas and so on and so on. This one you can, but like it's not a super simulation racer like iRacing, Project Cars maybe would be one of them. Gran Turismo, Forza, those kind of games. It's not like that, I don't think. There is a lot of penalty from treating this game only like an arcade racer, but if you do have some talent, I guess, some experience driving Gran Turismo, you got at least halfway through that game, or Forza, then you probably would be pretty good at this game as well. Especially if you're not the kind of person that bumps people out of the way and you just play on easy all the time. But if you actually play with like limited assist and on medium or hard, you'll probably be fine on this game as well. But yeah, it's not a super in-depth game. It's just one of those games that I love where it's simple. You know, it's simple, easy to pick up, but takes forever to master. And you just gotta be willing to put in the time and not hit the shrub at the end there every single time. But yeah, outside of that, it's a simple racer. There's nothing you gotta worry about. You can probably do pretty well with this if you grew up playing Burnout. which is another big racing series that I played a lot growing up. Fun fact about Burnout. The Burnout started off with a plane. And I didn't realize this until like a year ago, because I didn't read publishers back then. That's faster. And when I mean 19 seconds, I meant 19 flat. So we're at 19.8 now, so we got a ways to go. Burnout started off with a claim, and I did not know that. The first two titles of Burnout started off in a claim. And then Burnout and Criterion, the studio, got bought out by EA Games. Challenge everything. Including your developers, which you constantly challenge and then shut down because you told them to make a game that's not in your wheelhouse. Go figure. Anyways, Burnout and Criterion, which were the developers of Burnout, along with another developer, co-developer, I can't remember their name off the top of my head. Oh, Renderware. Renderware was the other one. Criterion and Renderware. Every time I see a game from them, it's typically both of them at the same time. It's very rare that it's one or the other. And anyways, they got bought up by EA Games, and Burnout 3 and every other Burnout game after that was published by EA Games. Now, Burnout 1 was a very simple racer, but it was very effective, as you could obviously tell by the popularity of the series. Getting multiple sequels. I'm messing up now, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm talking too much. But, Burnout 1 wasn't very spectacular, but it had a cool feel. Because it did, in my opinion, in regards to like its appearance in the UI and actually looking around the menus, it kind of felt like Gran Turismo a little bit. But like a very super simple Gran Turismo. Which is my kind of Gran Turismo, especially at the age of like being a young, I don't know, I would say 10 years old, but I was probably 13 at the time. So like early teens, where, you know, I didn't have the patience to learn what does the brake do. You know, I was just more like, if I can't full gas it, I'm not gonna play it kind of person. I'm a lot more mature now, which helps and hurts at the same time because you can't ride the brakes everywhere you go. And it also does a lot of damage for your brakes if you do so in real life. You probably want to time those brakes a little better if you do ride your brakes, you know, 100 yards before you actually reach the start-stop sign. You know, I was going to say start-stops finish line, but you know, intersections aren't made of finish lines; they're made out of traffic lights, usually, or stop signs. So I was partially right there. I was also going to say stoplight, but I don't know. Brain is a little bit jelly right now, trying to do everything. Also, I was supposed to join into a Discord chat before starting the stream, and I totally forgot because I had some last minute tweaking to do to use this new mic that I am using on the stream. Hopefully it sounds better, hopefully it's not peaking. It did not look like it was when I was doing some testing. And yeah, this is an XLR mic running on streaming right now. And I've been using this mic for the last few videos I've been putting up on YouTube. I know I'm going all over the place, but hey, one topic over the other. Let's just not have like 10 minutes of pure silence, shall we? So that's going to be me in a nutshell when it comes to talking. It's either a topic that I know something about and I'm willing to talk about, or if it's something that I don't know anything about, I ain't talking about it. I do not want to look like the fool who has no clue what he's doing. Which I kind of look like what I am now, because I keep doing the same thing over and over again. And expecting a different result. But of course, a lot of this TrackMania stuff, I am doing it off of muscle memory. There we go. It's a lot better. Hey, there's the author medal. So it is. So that is the lovely author medal for that track. Here's the replay of it. And yeah, that's the highest medal you can get off of any track. And we are not entirely done yet because I can still keep going for some more lap time here. So we're just over top 500 right now in the US. So let's cut that down a little bit. This is very simple. This is a very simple track, very easy track. It's just a lot of min-maxing you gotta do. Find the right line. Not overdrift the car. You want to get the exit here so you get a lot of speed out of it. And then at the same time, not hit the shrubbery at the end. This song in the background's kind of annoying. Hold on. That's better. So far, anyways. Yeah, so I'm trying to see where I can go off the new mic. Yeah, let's go back to the new mic. So with the new mic that I've been using, I've used it in a few videos so far on my channel, my YouTube channel. Link in the description below, even though there's no description, there's just a bunch of tags. So go ahead and have fun pressing buttons. And on that channel, I started a mini-series, which I want to continue. I already have the script built out for like 98% of it, which is differences in first-person shooters, which includes Modern Warfare, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Counter-Strike, and essentially talking about how each of those games are different. And the first video is about map design, and that you can't really put a map from a game like CSGO into Overwatch because CSGO, surprisingly enough, does not have verticality in their maps. So there's not really a place for a Mercy or a Pharah or a Black. It's not Black Widow. I always say Black Widow because I don't play Overwatch all that often. Widowmaker to actually thrive on, because again, there's just no verticality, and the maps are very, very linear in comparison to Overwatch. So it's just pointing stuff out like that I think is very interesting, and some things that I think that are just overlooked, and it's why the first-person shooter, third-person shooter genre is still huge, because of just how much you have to do to make your game unique, and how far developers are willing to go out of their way to make their games unique. So I used it in that. I used it in an offhand video that's not gaming related at all. I tapped the, I didn't tap the brakes, I left it on the accelerator there. I just got a floor it. Floor it, SpongeBob? Yes, floor it, okay. And in regards to that video, I kept the freaking thing again. In regards to the video that I'm talking about that's not gaming related, it's called Journey of an Episode. And that's when I talk about animation, because I like cartoons, who would have thought. And essentially, there's a lot of good cartoons that, or there's a few good cartoons that I grew up with but never really watched because of their pacing. And one of them being Hey Arnold. And yeah, you can watch that video to find out why, because I'm kind of tired of talking. No, but in Hey Arnold, it was a good show. It was just a very down-to-earth show. And a down-to-earth show in the early 90s, well actually late 90s, early 2000s, I mean I overdate myself here, doesn't really go that well when you compare it to other shows like SpongeBob. I didn't realize Codename Kids Next Door was started in 1998, I feel freaking old now. Teen Titans was on the horizon in 2003. Like, there was just too much competition for like shows that had action, faster pacing, and just, more comedy, more things going on. And then you have Hey Arnold. And it's not that Hey Arnold's a bad show. You had Invader Zim as well on the same channel, which is also a cool show, a cool gross out show, but essentially because of the stylizing, I never got grossed out by Invader Zim, and I think that's the key to having a gross out show. You can make your show gross out, just have it in a style where it doesn't gross out people, gross out the viewer. But yeah, I did a video of Hey Arnold and comparing it, well, not comparing it, but just saying like it was a good show, just probably not for its time, but at the same time for its time, because it's just a very down-to-earth show with not a whole lot of technology behind it, like no cell phones, you know, if you went missing for an hour as a kid, you know, your parents would call the cops type of deal. And that's kind of the same thing that we're going through here, but like there's a different type of flexibility kids had back then. And you know, in the show they kind of exaggerated a little bit. But yeah, the other video that I did using the new mic that I'm using now is weapons comparison series, which is the longest running series that I have on my channel, because it's the only series that I'm willing to go over 20 episodes for. I think I'm over 20. No, I'm not. I'm at 17. I'm almost at 20. I'm 3 videos away. And 2 of them are already planned because the developers are putting up the new stuff. But Weapons Comparisons is a series specifically for Insurgency Sandstorm. It may bleed out to other games in the future. I don't know yet. And Insurgency Sandstorm is an indie game shooter. Realistic but more hardcore shooter, and there is a difference. A hardcore shooter gives you speed, gives you some more mobility than a realistic one, or a milsim one. But at the same time, it's not so fast or so mobile that it makes it an arcadey game like Apex Legends or Call of Duty. Modern Warfare is really the closest that you can get to that kind of feel that Sandstorm has. But Sandstorm still feels different. Sandstorm still feels unique. And better in some instances. Hold on. Not peeking the stars, but just your titles, but and the pictures work, so there is a description by technically. Cool. So the other thing, I'm reading chat off of my phone, and every so often, chat stops on my phone. So I have to pause and tab out every so often to make sure that everything's going right. I didn't really want to check until just now. I apologize. Thankfully, I wasn't getting spam in the chat, so. What else? It's fun having one monitor. I'm working to fix that come Cyber Monday, Black Friday. Or Amazon Prime Day, depending on how good the sales are in a week. And it seems like Amazon Prime Day is always going like a week later and a week later. I thought Amazon Prime, the first time they did that was like in July. And then the last one I think was like in August, and now this one's in October. So it's like they're just making it extend like 1 month after the next. It's weird. I hit the freaking tree. Let me see what else. Okay. Weapons comparisons. So Insurgency Sandstorm, yada yada yada. I have a new video on there now using my new mic. It's cool, it's fun. It's a very chill experience. It's not loud or anything. That's the whole point of that. It's just to like calmly look at these new guns and say, hey, look at the difference between these 2 guns. That's about it. There's also some tips and tricks in that series, talking about the game mechanics and how they work. So if you ever play Sandstorm and you feel like, hey, I can't control the recoil because of a certain gun, well, I got a video just for that. And moving onwards, they're going to have a new update that's going to release 2 new guns and a few new attachments. So I'm going to be covering those in 2 separate videos. So that will take me up to video 19 out of this series. That'll take me up to 19. And I'll have to come up with 1 more, which I do have a video for as well. So the next 3 videos for that series are pretty much ready to go. I just gotta make them. Well, 1 I can make whenever I want. The other 2 I have to wait for the update, which comes in like 2 days. So I got a busy week ahead of me, and I do, as much as I would love to make content every day for like at least 3 days a week, that's just not going to happen because of schedules, work schedule, and all that. I'm going to actually focus on this next video last year, see if we can get any advantage on this. Looks like I'm going to focus, so there's be a little bit of radio silence here, other than the background music. God. Go. You think I'm talking a lot now? Just wait till tomorrow, because I do plan to stream tomorrow as well. I'm not gonna have anything to talk about tomorrow. Oh, good grief. Yeah, so that's really it. I mean, new mic, 3 new videos, all on the channel. All you can find down below. And just hoping that I can mix this mic to get some good stuff out of it. You know, make it sound better. Like, in regards to building my channel and all that, it may not sound like it, especially if you look at the older videos that I have out there. I always care about the quality. Like, back then, 720 FPS, 720 resolution, 60 FPS was starting to come out. And I was like, I want to record a 720 60 FPS off the bat. And yeah, the Mania, okay, Mania, we found a new word here, Mania. 720 60 FPS may not have been viable during the time that I had the laptop, but I still was committed to that I didn't want to do anything or record anything without having 60 FPS. So a lot of my older videos were like games that I could actually play at 60 to some reasonable means. I took about that into that. And then a lot of it was playing Rocket League at the time, because I could actually, I'm not even looking at the freaking track, I'm trying to, one second. Okay. And so what happened, I'm sorry, the music's also getting on the nerves here. 60 FPS wasn't really viable for me in Rocket League in regards to playing and recording. So what happened is that Rocket League has a built-in replay system. Here's my list. And the built-in built-in record system allowed me to record my matches at 60 FPS, just as a replay. So that's what I did for a lot of my early stuff, and what I continue to do now. Kind of what I'm doing now, just in a live commentary sort of way. I don't think I'm getting a faster lock time tonight. What time is it? 32 minutes? So yeah, I think I'm going to cut this short and run over to Rocket League after this. I'm going to give it a few more laps here, see if I can get any bit of improvement. Ooh, that was a little better. Towards the end there. Okay. Uh-oh. I know, we went on a bunch of rabbit holes, so we'll have to go back to them eventually. Maybe tomorrow, who knows. All depends on what comes across my brain. Come on, car. No. Alright, 2 more tries. And that's also the curse of TrackMania. It's like, once you start getting in the groove, it's like, I just want to do this over and over again. I don't care if I'm getting better or not. Okay, that's bad. Okay, so I gotta stay low and left on that jump. Let's figure this out a little bit. Low and left. Oh, that was not the right jump to go left. So, okay. Yep. Can't cut that. Can't cut that at all. I just gotta be conservative on that jump. That wheel kind of took off on its own there. Okay. Oh no, the jump again, the wheel hop. That's kind of devious of that track, that I can't just stay wide and take the turn straight on. As you loop in like that, there we go. And then just let it rip. Hope the momentum's fast enough. It's fast enough? Nope, it's not. Ah, it's hard. Okay, one more try. One more good try. Let's say it that way. This is not going to count. Just say, this is not going to count. Okay. One more good try. That's not going to count. I can't cut anything at the beginning, apparently. Okay, stop turning. Nope. Okay, that's the best try I'm gonna get.